Okay, ladies and gentlemen, welcome on board ASL Airlines Belgium, also known as TNT 737-800 BCF. Currently on the ground in Geneva. We're going to do a quick hop over to Paris Charles de Gaulle as quality 4928. Block fuel of 6012, rounded up is 6100, add 100 is 6200, 6.2 tons. 6.2 tons. We start the fueling process. Payload of 18,100 kilos. Start the loading of pallets. 2242. I'm going to divide that by 2. 1121 in each baggage compartment. That'll give us our 18,100 kilo, 18.1 ton. Start setting up the aircraft. We're already on ground power, the batteries are already on. While I'm up here, just going to go through the flows. Good stuff. Yaw dampers, normal, auto. It goes from bright to dim. Turn off, that's the cross feed. Very good. There's armed emergency lights, turn those off. We've got logo wing well. Let's turn the wing lights off, we don't need those. Bright ignition for later. We are a cargo aircraft, so I'll just leave these in the auto position. Equipment calling normal. Packs. We set them auto now, we're going to have nothing yet though. Hydraulic pumps, let's turn these on. Let's turn the window heat on. POs can stay off for now. I like to turn these down a little bit to preempt because it's going to be quite hot in the cabin. We're climbing to 20,000 feet, flight level 200 today, so we'll set that. Landing elevation for Paris, 392, so 400 feet. 400 feet is in there. Pressurization mode is auto. Rope. See no circuit breakers popping out. No circuit breakers popping out. We have the axe, 3 pins. Everything is where it should be there. We have the rope my side as well. Good, we're skulking 2000, we're unable to lock the flight deck door. On 122.8 for Unicorn, we are online on VATSIM. Set the trim to 5.5 units for now. Flaps are up, spoilers are up, flaps are indicating up, RTO. The gear is down, 3 green lights. Everything's reading as it should. Go ahead and turn the flight directors on while we're here. Okay, got Q and H. Let's go ahead and set up our FMC for today's flight. We're flying 3 Victor 4928, quality 4928, ready to flight no. GG to PG, that's correct. Route uplink ready. Bringing our route in from our company. In this case, Simbrief. check our route here. First waypoint is Depir, Bravo 37 to Ababa, Uniform Bravo 37 Delta Juliet Lima, Uniform November 854 to Tinil. Okay, that's checked. Perfect. Today we're going to be at 200. We have 30 on the cost index. 2.8 tons is our reserves. And we're planning for 6.2. Transition altitude of 7,000. Okay, we'll come back to that in a minute. Let's check out departures and arrivals. We're going to be departing from 22 today, and it's a 6 Alpha, Libby 6 Alpha departure. I believe it's via Delta Juliet Lima. She's Dijon Longvic. So I'm going to go to this one here and execute that. And for our arrival, we're expecting runway 9 right. Bring up the chart for this one as well. Here we go, it's a Tinel 9 Whiskey for ILS 9 right. Now, I don't think we're going to have control, so there will be some self-vectoring at the end of this approach. So that's a Tinel 9 Whiskey, there we go. And I also have an RNAV initial approach from Tinil, which is the Akiba 6 Echo. Execute. Okay, now we're going to have a quick look. Tinil, Anok, Akiba, Mossad. Check this part here. Charlie Lima Mike, which is Colomiers, Mossad. It takes you to Papa Golf 503. Papa Golf 503 vectors. Okay, very good. That's done. We can release the pallet loader now. We can release the forward carts. That's us completely loaded. So we can head to payload screen, 63.9 tons. We can finish this here. 63.9 tons. 57.70 fuel weight. RM1 for this evening. Checking the airport chart, we've got 12,795 feet of runway. I don't have any fancy performance calculator because they all cost too much money, so we're just going to go with TO1, climb 1, I'm going to say 58, 87.5. I'm going to go with climb, just because of the terrain. At 5 takeoff, our CG trim is 23.8, gives us 5.08 units. 143, 141, 5.08 units. It's about there. Going to need the APU. APU is coming on. Fuel pump's going to come on. Before start checklist down to the line. IRS mode selectors, nav. Gear pins, 1, 2, 3 removed. Lights test, we actually haven't done this, so let's kill it to test. I've got a flow here, we'll go across the MCP, across our main panel here, down to the pedestal, and I'll go up to the overhead, making sure there's no obviously unlit lights. Nothing up here as well. Okay, that's what the checklist is for. Okay, light test has been checked. The oxygen we have already tested that. Fuel damper is on. Fuel, we have just the wing pumps. The centre pumps are off because they are empty. And 6.2 is what we have. checking our load sheet here. 6.2 is what we require. Emergency light switch is armed. Window heat is on. Air conditioning and pressure is set 20,000. We have packs on, we have APU bleed on. Flight level 200 set in the FMC. That is our cruise altitude. Speed brake is up, our flaps are up. Our auto brake is set to RTO. Hydraulic pumps are on. Parking brake is set. Stab trim cutout switches are guarded and normal. Wheel well fire warning has been checked. Radios, radar and transponder. We're currently standby on 2000. We have Unicom tuned into Com 1. We have the ILS runway 22 here at Geneva in Nav 1 on 108.7. We have Papa Alpha Sierra, which is one of the departure VORs, in Nav 2 on 116.60 and Geneva on 115.75. That's also there in case we need it for a return. Rudder and aileron trims are 3 and 0 already checked. Take off briefing, we can go ahead and do that now. We're on stand 74. We're going to push back onto here, right, and all the way up Alpha, all the way up. We're going to take the whole length of the runway, all the way up here to there. Here we're here on 74, so we're going to push back, face southwest, right onto Alpha. We have plenty of runway available on runway 22, 12,795 feet. Bring up the Depenante as our initial climb, as we can see here. So from 22 today, we're going to be flying Dipper 6 Alpha departure. 250 knots below flight level 100, which is pretty usual. Our initial climb clearance is flight level 90, which is set. We can see our routing in detail here. Climb on Geneva radial 224 when passing 7,000, but not before 8 miles from Geneva, which is this VOR here, Passeri. Turn right, intercept Passeri 329 outbound, which is in here, via Kellock to dip here. In the event that I need to return to the airfield, it's pinned the ILS chart. I do have 108.7 tuned in on Nav 1 and 224 on the course. My best guess here is that we're going to do a left traffic pattern for runway 22. The weather conditions are pretty bad, so it's more going to be radar vectored, but mostly a left downwind, left base. ILS glide slope intercepts at 4,000. We have a minimums of 1465. Just have to caution the high terrain completely surrounding the airport. In the event of an emergency on the runway before our V1 speed of 140 knots, we'll come to a stop on the runway using max reverse, spoilers and the RTO braking. In the event of emergency after our V1 speed of 140 knots, we're going to take that emergency up into the air, and depending on the severity, we'll continue our standard instrumental departure, or we'll return to the airfield via left downwind, of which we have the ILS tuned in, climbing to 7,000. That is our departure brief, and it's going to be a full length departure. So, takeoff briefing is discussed. We have no PA, the FMC is set, bugs are set, stab trim of 5.08 is set, performance is set, doors, no lights, no passengers, and we're good to go. Okay, let's prepare for our pushback. Packs off, anti-collision light is on, parking brake is set, altitude reporting off. Okay, starting number 2, N2 is rising, oil pressure is rising, N1's rising, waiting for 25%. That's a very quick swing, there's 25%. Waiting for that red dash to disappear. Fuel pump lights are out. Okay, to start number 1. N2's rising, oil pressure's rising, N1's rising. Wait for 25% N2. I always forget the time these engines start. It's supposed to be 2 minutes from start to finish. Go ahead and set the flaps. Verify takeoff speeds. We are good. And the red dash is gone. Confirm that is set to 5, which it is. Generators are on. AP generators are off. Bleeds off. Go ahead and turn the PO heats on. Flight controls, fully down, fully up, fully left, fully right, neutral. Full taxi checklist. Generators are on. APU is off. Start switches continuous. Probe heats are on. Air conditioning, PAX auto bleeds are on. Stab units just over 5 required and just over 5 is set. Flaps 5 required, 5 set. Green light. Start levers are idle. Flight controls have been checked. Recall has been checked. Geneva traffic quality 4928. Stand 74. Taxiing via Alpha to holding point Alpha for runway 22. Geneva traffic. Okay. Taxi lights are on. Do a takeoff warning check, we're all good. Okay, our config has been checked, our flaps are set 5. Brakes are RTO, stab trim is 5 units and set. Takeoff briefings reviewed. Cabin is secure, it's just us on the flight deck today. We also have the NCP is set. We'll go, auto throttle can be armed. Flight directors, LNAV, VNAV, initial climb 9,000, flight level 9,000 specifically. 158 is our V2 plus 10, 224 is our course for the ILS and our initial climb out. 329 is our next VOR course, tracking outbound Papa Alpha Sierra before our departure. So our before takeoff checklist up to the line complete. Geneva traffic, quality 4928, departing runway 22 departure, 6 Alpha departure, Geneva traffic. Landing lights on. Strobe set to strobe. Squawk mode Charlie. Take all the runway. Know the front approach path is clear, we've already checked. runway is clear. Confirm 22. Two on our heading as well. Power set 40N1. Stabilised. Toga thrust. Power set.
Airspeed's alive.
Checked.
Knots. V1 positive rate of climb.
Gear up. To pitch up with the flight director. No nav, VNav speed. Climb power's just gone in. It's acceleration altitude. Flaps one. Flaps up. Or brake off. Gear is off. Nothing to see out there. Autopilot's on. Command green. N1, LNAV, VNav, standard pressure. I'm going to continue the climb up to 20,000. We have no air traffic control to tell us otherwise. Flaps are up, brakes are off, gear is up, off. After takeoff checklist, we can go ahead. Turn these off. Notice wheel lights can come off. Pressurization, climbing 20,000. Auto bleeds are on. Auto brake is off. Flaps up, no lights. Altimeter standard. After takeoff checklist is complete. Guess what I forgot? Clock. I'll start that now. About 4 minutes late. Anyway, there's 10,000 feet. Can never do it from that angle. Landing lights off. I haven't got to touch the seatbelt signs or anything. We're the only people on board. I'm going to go ahead and turn my real life lamp on so I can see a bit. And we can also go ahead, turn the dome light on. 1,000 to go. Flight level 200, that's our cruise. That is settling in pretty nicely. Okay, set up for the arrival. We're descending past flight level 155 now. Let's drop that down just a little bit. Okay, we've got all the brakes 2 for the arrival. Bring my charts across. Approaching Morello. Only caveat here is I've removed the level restriction because on the following chart from a keeper we have the RNAV which tells us to be between flight level 150 and 140 for jets with a maximum speed of 300 knots, so that's all in there. 25.9 track miles to Colomiers, Charlie Lima Mike, which we have tuned in as you can see up here on board 2 with 37 miles out. 8.3 track miles to Mossad, left hand turn to Papa Golf 503. There's no level restrictions here, but we will be on a downwind to Papa Golf 503. We're going to be continuing on a track 264 as indicated with these white lines. It's going to be vectors. We are on VATSIM, there's no controls or on Unicom, so it's going to be self vectors from Papa Golf 503. We'll probably go 45 degrees, 90 degrees, 45 degrees back in. We have 4,000 feet, which is our glide slope intercept. Altitude 5,000 above there, which is perfectly fine. We can actually clear, we can delete that and it will give us an estimated altitude, usually 4.4, yeah, that's fine, we'll be able to slow down there. Just confirm the plane is flying correctly, yes. I've already set the approach weights, 61.6. 30 flaps, 144 knots. We have no wind correction. I've already checked the, bring it up again, the VTAR for Paris, 110 at 3 knots, 5,000 metre visibility, 3 degrees. We have fog. 110.10, 084 for the ILS, 084 is tuned in, and 110.10 is tuned in. So our radios are checked and set. I've already checked the NOTAMs and the TAF, nothing to affect our flight, our arrival today. We'll just get into Okeeper now. Just entered this chart here. We'll be flying this RNAV arrival. I believe 4,000 is the altitude we want to drop it to. It's quite a slow descent. It wouldn't be like this if we actually had a control on. But anyway, 4,000 feet's in. The local QNH now. So METAR is 1034. We're going to go crazy and try and capture that, but it doesn't really need to. We're only 500 above. Okay, ILS approach. This is the ILS or Localizer Runway 09 at right, Paris, Charles de Gaulle, Lima Foxtrot Papa Golf. We have 110.1, which is our localizer, tuned in. Final approach course of 084, tuned in. We're not going to be flying a Category 3 approach, we're going to be flying a Category 2. We have a decision altitude of 471 feet, which is tuned in. 4,000 feet is where we're going to intercept the glide slope at 11.4 miles, which we've already seen on the FMC. Transition altitude 5,000, we're already on the QNH. Our missed approach procedure is to climb straight ahead to 4,000 feet to Papa Golf 681, continue to Papa Golf 672 at max 4,000 feet and as directed. So it's like an RNAV missed approach. I did quickly review this and I added an extra one, so there's our RNAV missed approach. Considering there's no air traffic controller online, I'm going to go with the missed approach with com failure, which we wouldn't do obviously in real life. After Papa Golf 672 we'll be continuing on to Lorney at flight level 70 to join holding or to start another approach. It's 25 track miles, so I think in that time I can work out what I'm doing, so I'm not going to put anything else in there. Once we're on the ground, we're landing on 09 right, which is in a longer runway at 13,780 feet, more than long enough. We want to aim to vacate at Yankee 5, maybe Yankee 6. I would like to come off Yankee 4, but I think by the time I put it down, it's Yankee 5 or Yankee 6 right onto Quebec, and then a Delta all along. We're coming over here to Echo November 22. It's quite a complicated taxiway, so we'll stop when we get down there and review. B speeds are already in, 144.30, no wind correction, okay. It will be an autopilot off landing once we have visual, considering we've got 5,000 metres of visibility. That is our approach briefing complete. Descent checklist, our pressurisation is decreasing and set. We have 400 landing elevation set and the anti-ice on as a precaution. I can't really tell how close this cloud is or how low it is. I'd rather have it on than not have it on. Approach briefing and fuel has been discussed. Let me just double check the fuel. We expect to arrive in Paris 3.6.
Hello Paris, Control Tower, we are gonna depart Qatar 1.
That's one of the Singapore airlines taking off. I seem to think we'll be arriving at 3.6. I hardly doubt that. It's probably going to be up to 3.5. Doesn't matter, we've got more than enough fuel for a diversion and go around. Altitude bug set 4,000. Descent checklist is complete. Green light, so that's going to come on. Approach checklist, altimeters are set to 1034, 1034, 1034. Approach aids are checked and set. We have 110.1 as our localizer. Let me just double check the ILS approach chart again. We can put 11535 in. Now that we've gone past Charlie Lima Mike. 11535. Just put this to 84 for now. So it's going to back up view our approach, even though we're not going to be following that. It's just nice to have it there in an emergency. So our approach checklist complete. There's an aircraft departing now. We're going to be banking left at any moment now. Turn this off. A bit easier to see now. Me anyway. Go to the fix menu. Runway 09 right. What do we want? 5 and 10. That's 4,000 feet. Approach mode. Glideslope armed. Single channel checked. Glideslope captured. Missed approach procedure is up to 4,000 sets, and we'll set the runway heading 084. There's the glide slope, 10 miles. Gear can come down. 1, 2, 3 green lights. That's 15 by the 5 mile mark. Go speed 150, flaps 15.
2500.
Flaps 15, there we go, 2500 checked. Flaps 30, there we go. Speed brakes armed, auto brake, continuous, lights. Before landing checklist start switches are continuous, recall, checked, speed brake armed, green light, landing gear down, 3 greens, auto brake set 2, flaps 30, green light, landing lights on. Before landing checklist is complete. 5 miles. Paris to Gaulle traffic, quality 4928, 6 mile final, ILS 09 right. I knew there was no traffic to affect, so I wasn't too worried about making loads of calls. I have the runway. I have control. My throttles. Check.
Approaching minimums. Minimums.
Landing.
50, 40, 30, 20, 10.
Bracers. Spoilers out. Braking versus disengaged. Coming off on Yankee 5. Spoilers up, flaps up. Paris to Gaulle traffic, quality 4928, vacated 09 right. Flaps are in transit. Brakes off. Landing lights off. Strobes. right here on Quebec. Stop right there. APU generator on. Last flight of the night, so everything here can go off. Ground power.